I'm Sandy Genovese here at Ellison, here to share a project with you that we kind of themed toward Mardi Gras. If you look here at the table, you can see a mask, and I've decorated it somewhat to look a little Mardi Gras-ish. You can see that I've started with white, and then I've just taken a black pen and added just graphic details. I've used a punch and some shading pins to add some dimension. I've placed ribbon through one of the holes that's in the mask, and when I turn it over, you're going to see that I've used just elastic cord. It's something that you can buy at the craft stores, fabric stores, they carry it as well, and it's a very inexpensive way. You can also use an elastic mask strap. So to get started, first we have to actually cut the mask. So I'm going to take the mask die, and you really could do this two ways. You could use black and paper and a white pen, or white paper and a black pen. So we'll go ahead and we'll cut both. And I'll just put it with the cutting pad on the bottom and on the top, and then I'll go ahead and run it through. And of course, for a classroom, I would be cutting more like 5 or 6 at one time. So here you can see that the mask even gives you the holes, which is very cool. And like I said, you can use a white pen on the black, or I chose to use a black pen on the white. So let's take this and go ahead. I'll just start adding graphic details. I don't know how well I can draw some things upside down, so the mask could go either way. I'm gonna go ahead and add a star. I'll do the point of an arrow. Maybe I'll add some dots right here along the eye. And I'm not gonna stop, obviously, it would take way too much of your time to color everything, but you can start to see once I even just start coloring a little bit how fun this is going to be for the kids to do. It's really like doodling. So they can add whatever fun details they want, and then just with the black pen, go back and add solid lines all around it. And you can see, I'm going to turn this your way, so you can see how it really is easy and it's fun. I went ahead and I did my design all the way up till this spot, right down the middle. Then what I did is I just took this punch. This is a Tim Holtz punch, and all I'm going to do is take the punch and I'm going to use it to punch out different colors. So it's a flower. I'm going to punch out an orange one. I'll do a red one, a blue one. I think I did 5 or 6, but of course how many you do, or how many, you can see it works equally well with cardstock as it does with paper. You can hear the sound of it when I'm using the thicker paper. Now if you want, the kids, they can also add shading. So you can go back on some of these flowers and add details on the inside. I'll add some black to that one, and to this green one I'll add some white dots. You can also shade around the edges just by taking any kind of a pen that adds a little shading. This is a watermark ink pad, and it just adds a little depth to the edges all around the flowers. Now the kids of course are going to do this, do as many flowers as they want. Then it's time to attach them. So I'm going to put adhesive on the back. And as I said, I won't do the whole thing right now, but let me do enough to show you how this is someplace where I also added a little dimension. If I take the red one, and I'll just take some foam that you see here. These are little foam self-adhesive dots. So I'll pull it off, and I'll put it right behind the red flower. That's going to raise it up, and then add it to the mask. Of course, once again, you can go back and add, the kids would add whatever details they want. You can see how quickly this is going to turn into this. Now for the ribbons, that's not difficult either. What I did was I just started with 3 colored ribbons, and probably the trickiest part of this whole project is taking the ribbons and tying them into a knot. So here you can see I've got a pink, a red, and a black. And all I'm going to do is tie it into a knot. And if the knot seems like it's too small, it's going to maybe pull right through the hole that's already die cut in the mask, I think it's safe to go back and add a second knot. Now see that knot is nice and thick. So I can take this and thread this so that the knots are going to be on the back side. So I'll thread the ribbon through all three of them. The hole is nice and easy to work with, and you can see how when I pull it through, that knot is going to hold it in place. If you don't want the ends to show, I'll just go back with my scissors and trim the ribbon off. So you can see how I've added the ribbon, and then it's just a question of adding whatever you want to use to hold it on the kid's head. In this case, I'll just take an elastic mask strap. Now what's cool about this is I've discovered that if you don't like having this part show, it's a little more obvious on the side. I don't have the ribbons. Let me show you what I mean. If you don't like having this silver show, I've just taken nail polish and painted these bright red or bright orange, and that's kind of fun too. So now it's ready for the kids to wear. You don't have to do all of the decorating. If you're really doing this for 30 and you want it to be quick, you can use, look, you see here that I've actually cut scrapbook pattern paper. And if you don't want the kids to wear it, it's not very obvious to see here, but you would want not the kids not to cut this part, but I've taken and I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut 2 slits right underneath where that hole is, and I'm just cutting on cardboard from a notepad, and then I can take a stick and thread it through, and look, you can turn this into a fun little mask too. And if your paper is double-sided, how cool is this? This is just so fun. Now this is for Mardi Gras, but remember, you could use this mask die all year long for plays and musicals and all kinds of fun uses. Thanks so much for joining us. Check out more ideas on ellisoneducation.com.